Hi there, and today we are going to learn about how to build a custom review form in Wix Studio. So here I am in my Wix Studio website dashboard, and in order to go to the website editor, we just need to click on Edit Site, and then it will automatically open in a new tab. So I already have my tab open right here, so here is my Wix Studio website, and for example, I want to build a custom review form. What we need to do is that we need to add a blank section first, and then from here we will click on add an element, and then we can go to contact and forms. If you want to use a custom template right here, you can do so as well, but we will create a new custom form. So to do that, just click on create new form, and then this dashboard will open where we can create our custom form. So from here, we can add different form fields. So we can add the first name, last name, the email, phone, birthday, and so on and so forth. So you can just choose specific fields right here that you need in your custom form. So for example, since we are creating a custom review form, we need a first name, we need the last name, we need their email. Just add it right here, and then we need to have their review. So we need to go to general. I'm going to add a long answer, just drag it right here, and then we can also add a star rating. And then from here we can customize it further by adding some text right here. So we can go ahead and add a header and then a text, and then you can add a submit button, but we already have one right here. So for the header and text, I will edit it. And then for the text right here, we can change it to and then from here, we can now preview this form, and then we can go ahead and insert some information right here. But we can also edit it further by having some required fields. So for example, we need to have the first name as a required field, then for the last name, the email, and then for the star rating, and then for the answer right here. So let's change the title to review. And then we can also change it to have a character limit. So for example, the character limit will be 1000 characters only. And then we can add a placeholder text or a field description. So for the placeholder text, let's say type your review here, and then for the description, we only have a 1000 character limit. And then if you want to add more pages, you can do so as well, but I will only create a single page review. So we can now go to settings, and then let's change the form name into custom review form. And then we can also change the required field style. So currently it is an asterisk. We can also have a label, or we can have none, but we will choose asterisk. We can also choose if we will place it before the field title or after the field title. Then we can also have a confirmation message. So for example, we'll change it to thank you for your review. And then we can go ahead and save this. And then if you want to check all of the submissions for the review, you will see it right here in submissions. And then let's close it. And then now we have our review right here in our Wix Studio website. So we can just adjust the size of this section right here so that it fits our review form. So we can also edit the form further by going to settings. Then we can change the layout. We can add some paddings for the top and bottom. We can change the spacing between rows. We can also change the spacing between columns, but we only have one column right here. And then for the design, let's change the size right here. And then for the design, we can change the form background. So currently it doesn't have, or it has the yellow background. We can just change it to a different background so that it is different. We can also add a border, and then border width, as you can see right here, and then a corner radius if you want rounded corners. You can also add a drop shadow if you want. And then if you are done, we can now also stretch our review form right here so that it spans the whole section. But what we can also do is that, let me just adjust the size, and then we can also change the padding of this section. So let's select the section layer, open the inspector tool, and then add some paddings to the sides of our section. So I'll add 20 pixels to the side and 20 pixels to the up and down. So we can change it further to 50 and then 50 right here. So it just depends on your preference if you want to have paddings or not. And then we can also change the background of these text fields right here. So we can go to settings, design, form fields. So currently it is in yellow. We can change it to a different color. For example, maybe we can change it to gray. So it will look like that. Or it just depends on your preference. I will just choose white. And then we can also change our star rating. And then for the submit button, I'll change it to this one. Then I'll change the color to this. And then let's go back. And if you want to change the header and paragraph, you can do so as well. And then that is it. That is how we create a custom review form here in Wix Studio. I hope you learned how to do it, and thank you for watching.